kind of humor usually tickles me. I love that YouTube poop humor. Somehow that didn't quite hit me, and I don't know why. Maybe I've gotten old. Is that what it is? Hello. How are people doing this wonderful Friday? So, this stream, I planned it. Not crazy amounts, but I have. Now, what we are doing today, I just put as the prompt, YouTube Shorts. And I was like, because you know how you fall down that rabbit hole where you watch some short films, and then the YouTube gives you 20 next recommendations. I started actually planning what to watch. And they're not so much actual, like, animated professional short films. They're more YouTubers making shorts, which is pretty fun. A bit of a nostalgic rabbit hole to run down. So that's what we're going to be doing today, from all sorts of different types of creators. This is my YouTube account. Wow, crazy, isn't it just? The recommendations, sometimes they're accurate, sometimes they're not. I watched some Jacksepticeye I've been watching Mandalorian, but not on YouTube, so someone's spying on me there. We're going to be going through YouTube Shorts. You know, when you think YouTube Shorts, what's the first thing you think of? The first thing that I personally think of is OG, back in the day, Corridor Digital. I, at one point, wanted to be YouTubers like these guys. This was the kind of thing I kind of wanted to do. Being a film student, this was kind of cool. Never had the equipment, never had the friends, never had the real creativity to make something like this. What's their like most popular stuff? I wanna have some like a bit of a nostalgia trip, kind of continuing on from our last stream. What was it? The one I specifically remember being like the most iconic to me. Well, it was just like instant kill. Is that what it was? The art of the insta kill, 8 years ago. This, wow. I'm not gonna take too much of their stuff away because obviously I'm not gonna be just ripping everyone's content, but this was like a video that defined, not really defined my childhood. What can you take from this really? Obviously this was during my kind of emo phase. This was what, 2012 I think? I was playing all these games. I got every one of these references mostly, and I was like, oh, to have, you know, they didn't do adaptations of movies back in the day. This was as good as it got. In some alternate reality, that would have been me. Except I have no idea how to do that, even now. And like the medley of it all. Bring it all together. Oh. It's great to see as well, these guys have lingered, you know? They are OG YouTubers, for the most part. And they have stuck around, you know, they've hit gold with their new reaction series, which now I guess am technically contributing to in another format. And then the classic flipper innocent Nintendo game on its head. Oh, beautiful. Oh, maybe not quite so bloody, but sure. I think this was the video that like kick-started a serious rabbit hole that I followed on YouTube of video game shorts. There weren't video game adaptations like there are now, so everything had to just be made amateurly by regular YouTubers, and that was my jam. This! When would this come out? Hold on. So first of all, is this as common knowledge as Corridor and Corridor Digital? It's 3 years later. Okay, so it apparently took me a long time to get off of this bandwagon of mine. This, I think, was like the next step up when I was like, whoa, look at these VFX! Even though it's actually kind of physical. I haven't watched this in 5 years. Okay, it is a little VFX-y, but it's more about the physics that you'll see later. I was like, oh. This one actually made me think maybe I could make this. Like, it's just some clever filmmaking, mostly. Seems pretty fun to act in as well, you know? Look at that. Well, I don't remember it being so goofy, but there it is. Wow, how old was I? 19? 18? Sometimes humor's simple, alright? I can appreciate that, like, the actual choreography attempts with this, you know? Like, having the baseball bat actually stuck into place. I mean, that's so simple, you know. Oh, this is cool. I faintly remember this, but I mean, you know, I only watched this once 5 years ago, so I'm not going to remember all of this. Here it is. This is what I remember. Wow, was it really that quick? I thought there was more to it. I thought it was like a back and forth or something. Maybe not. Alright, they've exhausted pretty much everything the two characters can do. What more is there? Curious to know. Yeah. Well, I'm thinking of which one's harder to make in VFX. I can guess which one gets it. Surprise, surprise, they can't animate a massive Big Mac. Unless they did like a McDonald's joke or something. That held up a little less than I expected it to, but like it's still fun. And yeah, like it looked like a lot of fun to make. Going back to Corridor Digital, because it wasn't always video game stuff. This was another defined. Do people know this off by heart? You know what Clock Blockers is? Clock Blockers was just like this high concept idea that I was like, this is amazing. I want this to be a game. It's not, because how on earth would you make that work? But here it is. Standard shoot 'em up. But the twist is, you create clones of yourself, and it's all going back to that exact same time loop. I would love to be able to play this, but how on earth does the concept work with that? Unless we get to the point of perfect AI cloning that knows how to think and act like you do, it can only be in a short film like this. Or maybe a full film. I'd want it. It's colorblind friendly as well. I can tell who's who, just about. Oh, and I love the sound, the music to this as well. Just everything Corridor makes, even though actually there's a good few chunk of errors in this. Like there's a wheel that doesn't have a shadow. They talked about it in a future video. You can also hear the director say bang at one point. I'll point it out when we get to it. Probably. We'll see. I'm actually going to pay attention this time to... Oh, the thing's shaking on his irons. The syncing's not quite perfect. I'm only really hyper-analyzing it now because I've watched this so many times, you know? While the Ness vs. Little Mac one I've seen once 5 years ago, this is something I've come back to a lot. I'm a little obsessive, okay? Oh, that might have been... I think I was looking away. That might have been the shot that didn't have shadows on it. But that's fine. Or, no, it's when he's kicking the wheel to himself. Yeah, so I think we just did miss that. Final round. I want to see when the actual originals actually die. Maybe it's against each other, but I'm not certain. It's an out, I think. The kick. The guy who kicked didn't have a shadow. There it is. Yeah, that's the part where things don't work. The unlinked make them make their own choices instead of sticking with the loop that they've already done. Can't make that reality. Not really. Oh, that was a Doctor Who boom. And bang. I think I literally just talked over it, but there you are. Once again, yeah, okay, the two finals, and then one extra guy. Oh, beautiful. Going back to video games, because that's actually mostly what I've got kind of... We'll go back and forth, I guess. Fallout vs. Skyrim. You guys remember this? So this is by Nukazuka? Okay, 2.3 million. They really picked up. I watched this when it came out 5 years ago. I was really on a theme 5 years ago, wasn't I? Man, I don't even know what I was doing in 2015. So do you guys know this? Well, he just kind of took that like a champ, didn't he? I'll tell you what, listening to this back now, the music is not hinting me as good yet. Maybe it's supposed to be a quiet moment, but like... Wow, that was a quick end. Just a flesh wound. Also, was that the sound effect for, like, he's got a crippled limb? Wow, that actually was how it ended. That's incredibly quick, but I mean, understandable. I couldn't talk about YouTube Shorts without talking about the guy who invented the damn thing. It half seems like, you know what I'm talking about here. Not Asduff. All the other stuff he made. This guy is a guy I definitely looked up to as well back in the day. I was not sure if I wanted to be like a gaming YouTuber, or a film YouTuber. I think I actually wanted to go to university to do film, to potentially find people to do this with. What do I watch? What do I watch? Dark humor right off the bat. I remember all of these off by heart, essentially. Do you remember what happened? Oh, such a classic. This could have been a two-liner, but extend it and it kind of gets funnier. Then it gets stupid.
17 years retirement.
Then it gets funnier again. Is there a shot of all the body? Oh, it can't be because now, you know, same actor twice, but...
Okay, then he put the gun to his head. With a pillow? Like this. Okay. Then he pulled the trigger. Oh! Oh! Oh my God! Oh no! My twin brother!
Why are so many you twins?
Nepotism!
Yeah, that makes sense.
I don't even, like, it's... I mean, I guess it's because it's so quick as well. I don't have anything to add.
Please. Please don't ask.
Remember him? He had a whole phase on YouTube for a while, didn't he? Then he made it to the real world. Oh, hey! Ah, 2022. Never mind. 10 years later, so... The other end of this lockdown. They made it.
What happened to Daddy?
Well, honey.
Freddie W. Rocket Jump. Obviously, kind of moved on to bigger and better things, trying to break it out to the crazier real world. This guy kind of started, I think, the whole making video game shorts. Let's see this whole thing. 2011. How dated do things get? 4 years before, you know, the other phase of watching live action video game stuff I had. Huh. Classic. I mean, actually, so far, it literally just looks like they got to film on the set and then they just added stuff later. We'll see. Or is this actually planned? I'm curious to see how this went. This is... I can't believe this is 9 years. Super shiny shells, though. Yeah, they literally could have just taken this off of generic footage. Oh, well... I'm wondering how much they had this planned. Okay, yeah, they did have this kind of planned, obviously, with the Starburst. Alright. Why do I remember this so well? Like, I feel like I'm remembering all these pieces. Look at that continuity. Wow, that's also so strange how short it is. I believe videos were not always 10 minutes back in the day. Alright, let's go to the floor is lava. I'm not gonna tell. Oh, this is 6 minutes. Skim to when the lava. Oh, hey, it's him.
What the hell is this, man? The floor is lava! Really? Let's go! Alright, just pass me my
Ah, so strange. I think it was before I recognized who he was. What year was this? 2017. Okay. Maybe I knew who he was, but I didn't process it. I just don't remember. Oh my goodness, actually, I never even noticed the repercussions of the outer world. Ouch. But hey, good insurance on the furniture. I mean, if that stuff's not burning, that's impressive.
Oh, what up, son?
This is incredibly tense. I might skip ahead, because I mean, this is 6 minutes of this. 20 seconds of just getting over to him. And even then, this isn't even about the floor is lava anymore. This is just a dude with... Oh, you really? Is that really how that went?
Together.
Does one get pushed into the lava? I feel like that's where this is going. Yep, there it is. Although actually it wasn't someone killing someone else. Hey, the dude was face up this time, rather than face down. Well, I mean, maybe they turned him over. Also, Clint's done a great job of actually hanging on this whole time. I don't believe it. Also, how the dynamics of him not getting pushed under by the weight, also very impressive. Then, they made it.
I'm not gonna make it! I got you!
This would have all been solved if they just had a bedroom on the upper floor, you know?
Never being a bad roommate! Do this later! You're an amazing man! And an incredible roommate! Even if you
Use your other arm, there's a ladder right there. No?
Anyway! No! Quinn! Hey!
Hey, Casey.
I forgot that ending. We'll be honest. College humor. Remember when these guys were a thing? And a good thing? The one I remember was the Sims horror movie.
There's something strange about this.
This is the kind of Sims movie I would actually want to see.
Controlling her every move.
Hey, where's the ladder? Can't get past this fence.
Like, Goofy. That is the Sims. A little bit meta.
Get past this fence.
Even as a low-budget horror film, I'd probably watch this. Even with all the VFX that aren't really working in this video. Like, that's really cool. But I guess the short kind of does it better. I discovered these guys through trending. I don't go on trending very often.
know it's bad when you hear a scream over
But these
the
guys,
because we're only permitted to speak during meetings.
it feels like a really good modern day YouTube short adaptation, you know? Corridor doesn't have a lot of crazy dialogue most of the time. And it's very heavy on the VFX references. And like the video game stuff.
Guys, spend the night with
And this is just like how real comedians would play with the trope. With the mechanics. Like, they've made several of these videos now. All doing different storylines. It's actually really investing. Because you could see it playing out in a game.
they were all pre-wired. I'm a task guy. I just do what I'm told.
That's me.
Pink's
I'm
you know
orange
what?
in this scenario, in this timeline.
Lot of questions.
I like Blue the most. I mean, Blue's pretty consistent, or at least easy to pick as a consistent character in these. Good fun.
Needed to finish my task.
The biggest downside, though, is obviously their helmets are reflective, their visors, so you can very much see the rest of the set. Especially in the office scenes, the reality show scenes. But like, it's interesting because obviously so many people hopped on this bandwagon. Everyone's got different sets. I like the way these guys have vents, where they have a cardboard vent thing and they just jump up and throw it off. It's really cool.
Wiping my cards were suddenly
Obviously, bit of a dramatization, the actual game, but like I like how they continue. Obviously, of course, they continue to. They can monetize the heck out of this, and they obviously own the warehouse or can hide it out or something. But the way they kept actually changing the stories, really good. The music's very generic, standard. You know what to think in the moment, but you know, I'll allow it. A very classic story. The dumb guy finally gets it right. I feel like that's the same ending that happens in pretty much all of these, though. My only complaint. What was that was recommended earlier was amazing integration by Pymations. All right. I haven't seen TF2 content in years. It's kind of nostalgic as much as it's new.
Sorry to pop in unannounced. You dropped the spy.
It's a YouTube poop plus original cartoon
Many thanks.
and a little bit of.
Your nuts. I will eat them up.
I'm very lost.
I murdered your medic. I am dead. I will kill any man who tries to kill any man. Oh, please.
This is YouTube poop style.
No. Keep talking. Let's see. I murdered your heavy as well. I am dead. He is dead. That heavy is dead. I stabbed you.
How do you come up with this when you hear a line?
Give you some advice.
That kind of humor usually tickles me. I love that YouTube poop humor. Somehow that didn't quite hit me, and I don't know why. Maybe I've gotten old. Is that what it is? That I love that kind of. Why am I not laughing? Where is my tickle bone? My tickle bone? My funny bone? Oh, never mind. You know what I'm trying to say. This, yes, I remember seeing images of this. It was made entirely through Blender, which is a first. I definitely do actually want to watch this. I was going to get around to this one. All right, let's see this.
Such a lovely place you've got here.
Vicious.
Usually this empty?
He is sus, as the kids would say. He's also deaf, apparently.
These porous agent Kratos.
Man, does barber chairs actually do that? Like, I'm not used to this. Anyway, sorry, getting distracted on the mechanics of real life. Ouch. It's inside the Mario head. Is this British? It feels British. Maybe it is because it's spies and agents, you know? Very British in general. Kinda. Alright, hairdryer works too, I guess. Can't really animate a gunshot wound very easily. You probably could, but... Oh man, I love the continuity that the can stuck around. I was expecting that to not be the case. Oh. He accidentally aims his gun at the other people. Not very well tactically eyed. I don't know words. Wow. What a way out. How do you come up with that? Oh. To be fair, that was like, yeah, pretty fun standard fight scene in a barbershop. It reminds me of creatively. What is this called? I guess it is just Jinxie Jenkins and Lucky Luke. Oh goodness, what a mouthful. Do you guys know this? This always, I mean, it's got 16 million views, so it probably popped up a lot. Let's have a look at this. So, this is, I think, like the first one I like remembered, and then it started the whole rabbit hole, I think. This one's just really cool because it's only 4 minutes. It's the kind of short I would want to make. The concept is, I love my concepts. I like my creativity, alright? It's simply the connection of good luck and bad. Number 13 and number 7. I've watched this a multitude of times. Oh. And like the framing, splitting it and then not splitting it. I could do it, like, as much as obviously it's not even close to realistic. I really like this kind of cartoony, funky kind of slapstick stuff, you know? I could watch a whole film like this. Really. Man. That's not a good sign. If you like look at scratches on your hand, you're like, oh, this is great! Pain and blood! Like, how has this not been made a bigger thing? Like, it's such a simple idea. But just really cool. And then, you know, pianos! The festival, apparently. They weren't even on ropes, they just... Alright, physics, who needs it? I mean, they're falling slowly in the background anyway. And then he broke his arm. Well, actually, it would only slow him down, so maybe it wouldn't. But maybe it would. I don't know, a lot of tension holding a whole human on the other. A lot of tension on the shoulders. They died up there. There was no ladder. Like, oh, that's my jam. These I really, really liked. I guess we'll skim through this. This one in 2012. Okay, so I guess, again, 2012 and 2015. This one encouraged me to buy the music that is in it. Not the TF2 music that you hear now. But this is just, you know, inside a video game, someone actually told a strong, emotional story. And again, it's because music is the most overpowering part, you know? It's not all dialogue. It's just visual storytelling. It's really good. Of them building a sentry. And then, I mean, this is kind of the Baby Yoda trend before Baby Yoda. The cuteness trend. I guess that was always universal, but you know what I mean? Like, so good. Teaching him his first kill. Being sabotaged. Montage of being a good little child son. And then the drama, you know? Everyone seriously getting into war. Only to say goodbye to him, you know? Like, I skimming through, it's not as cool, but... like, this blew me away as a young 15-year-old, you know? And breaking the trope. Do people know the Saxy Wars? Do people know this? So good. What has Simon gone on to do something? I hope he did. That is, of course, all the short films we're going to watch for now. If this was interesting, I might do this more. Like, it was kind of interesting to see. Obviously, this was the stuff I'd already had seen, but maybe in the future I'll take recommendations, note them all down, and then continue it as like a reactions things for later on. We'll have to see, you know. For now, I'm ending it off here. That was a lot of speaking. My name's been Dazz. You didn't really care, and I'll see you in a bit. Bye bye, everybody.